Welcome back to the Dad Days, everyone. I'm Josh, and I'm a stay-at-home dad making content for More Than Dads, a 100% whole wheat sourdough bread. You can make it in whatever shape you want. Typically, when I make my 100% whole wheat bread, I make it in more of a loaf pan for like a sandwich bread, a slicing bread. Just a standard pan like this. That's what we'll be doing today. Let's get into it. My starter has more than doubled in size, and we are ready to make some bread. Okay, so as I said, we're going to be making a 100% whole wheat sourdough bread. The things that I'm going to be using today: a scale, a mixing bowl, my starter, whole wheat bread or whole wheat flour, warm water, salt. I'm using Redmonds real salt. This is my recipe if you want to screenshot it. It will also be in the description. I realized I did not have enough whole wheat flour ready, so I'm just restocking my container. We buy our flour in bulk. It's way cheaper that way, so I suggest looking into it for yourself. We store our flour in these 5-gallon buckets. They are food grade, obviously, and you can get the screw top lid attachment for them with a rubber gasket. It makes it really nice. It stores well and stays out of the elements, whether your house is humid or whatnot. I always recommend using the highest quality flour you can afford. This is organic King Arthur whole wheat flour. That's what we use. We'll be starting with 600 grams of whole wheat flour. I always do all the dry ingredients first. In this case, it's only the flour and the salt. So it'll be 15 grams of salt added to the flour, and then we'll give it a quick mix. I forgot to mention honey in the beginning when I was talking about the ingredients. We're using organic local honey, and this is 25 grams of it. I always add the honey to the measuring cup first, and then a splash of very hot water to dissolve the honey, and then I add the rest of the warm water, and I'm able to keep track of where I am as far as weight of liquids. It will be a total of 400 grams of warm water. I use 150 grams of active sourdough starter for this recipe. When I add the starter to the flour, I use my fork and cut it in similarly to if you were making pie crust and you were cutting in butter to flour, it's the same concept. So just cut it in until the flour is crumbly, and then you will add the liquid to the flour and mix it all up. Once the dough just comes together, I let it rest for an hour, and then I knead it for the first time. Then I let it rest for another hour and knead it again. I do that 3 times, and then I cold ferment it in the fridge overnight in the bread pan, and then I bake it in the morning. So I'll see you then. Good morning, everyone. This is my whole wheat sourdough loaf. It's been cold fermenting in the fridge overnight, about 10 to 12 hours. I'm just gonna dust it with flour, score it, and pop it in a 350-degree oven for maybe 40 minutes or so. I'm really going to check the internal temperature, and that's how I'll know exactly when it's done. I'm looking for about 160 to 170 degrees internal temperature. So I'll show you how I dust it and score it, and we'll pop it in the oven. Okay, so it's been 10 or 15 minutes of baking. I use a thermometer like this. I put it into the bread and set the thermometer to 165 degrees. This ensures that I will never overbake my bread, and I know when it's complete. I've found that 165 to 175 is usually perfect. This is the finished product. I hope you really give this loaf a try. It's really delicious. It's perfect 100% whole wheat sandwich bread. And yeah, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, stay tuned for more Dad Days.